Here is something that should bother you. Right now, in your house, there are two things happening simultaneously. There is light coming from a lamp, and there is a Wi-Fi signal coming from a little box in the corner. Both of them are electromagnetic waves, same species, same physics, same speed, literally the same type of thing traveling through space. One of them cannot get through your wall. The other one doesn't even notice the wall is there. Now, I want you to sit with that for a second, because if you actually think about it, now really think about it, that makes no sense. You can't have it both ways. Either walls stop electromagnetic waves or they don't. But nature is doing both at the same time in your house right now. So either something very weird is going on or everything you think you know about walls is wrong. It's the second one. Now, when most people hear this question, they come up with an answer pretty fast. They say, oh, that's easy. Radio waves are longer. They're big. They go around the wall or through the gaps between atoms. Light waves are tiny. They hit the atoms and get stuck. Sounds reasonable. I've heard smart people say this with complete confidence. It's completely wrong. And I'm going to show you why with 3 observations. 3. And after the third one, that whole theory is dead. Observation 1. The atoms in your wall, drywall, wood, brick, they're separated by a few angstroms. An angstrom is a 10/1000th of a meter. Tiny. Now the wavelength of visible light, a few hundred nanometers. That's thousands of angstroms. Light is already thousands of times bigger than the gaps between atoms. By the chain link fence theory, light should sail right through. It's too big to notice the atoms, but it doesn't go through. It gets stopped cold, so the theory already has a problem. Observation 2, X-rays. X-rays have wavelengths about the size of the gaps between atoms. So according to the size theory, X-rays should get destroyed by walls. They're exactly the right size to get stuck. But what happens? X-rays go through you, through your skin, your muscle, right through. Only bone and lead slow them down. X-rays are shorter than visible light. They get through more easily. That is the exact opposite of what the theory predicts. Observation 3, take 2 walls, same thickness, similar atomic spacing. One is made of wood, one is made of glass. Light goes right through the glass, stops dead at the wood. If this were a size story and a geometry story, those 2 walls should behave identically. Same atoms, same spacing, same everything. But one is transparent and one is opaque. The theory is dead. We need the real answer. Here's what's actually happening, and this is the part I love. The wall is not a passive barrier. The wall is not a fence. The wall is made of atoms, and those atoms have electrons. And those electrons, they are the whole story. An electron in an atom is not free to do whatever it wants. It sits at a specific energy level. Think of it like a staircase. The electron lives on one specific step. To move to a higher step, it needs energy. But not just any amount of energy, exactly the right amount, the exact gap between the steps. Not roughly right, exactly right. Now, a photon of light, it carries energy, and the amount of energy is tied directly to its frequency. Higher frequency, higher energy. This is Planck's discovery. E equals h times f. The frequency of the wave determines the energy of each photon. So when a wave hits your wall, it's sending photons at the electrons. And each electron is asking one question. Does this photon carry exactly the energy I need to jump to the next step? If yes, the electron absorbs the photon, jumps up, the photon is gone, the light doesn't get through. If no, the electron can't use that energy. The photon passes right through, the wall is invisible to it. That's the whole mechanism. That's everything. Think of it this way. Imagine a concert hall. On the stage, there are 100 tuning forks, all tuned to different notes. You walk in and you sing a note. If your note matches one of those forks, the fork starts ringing. It absorbs the sound. The energy stays in the hall. But if you sing a note that none of the forks are tuned to, nothing happens. Your voice passes through the hall like the forks aren't even there. The wall is the concert hall. The electrons are the tuning forks. And whether the wave gets through depends entirely on whether any electron in that wall is tuned to that frequency. Visible light photons, they're singing exactly the note that the electrons in wood and drywall and brick are tuned to. Every photon gets caught. Every single one. Radio photons, they're singing so low, so quiet, that none of the electrons respond. The wall doesn't even notice them. They pass through like the wall is made of air. Now here's where it gets beautiful. Glass is also a wall. It's solid. It's full of atoms packed tightly together, but visible light goes right through it. Why? Because the electrons in glass, in silicon dioxide, they're not tuned to visible light. The step gap is wrong. The photons arrive and the electrons have nowhere to put the energy. So the photons pass through. Glass is transparent, not because it has holes in it, not because it's thin. It's transparent because its electrons cannot eat visible light photons. But, and this is the part that gets me every time, glass does block ultraviolet. You can't get a sunburn through a window. UV photons have more energy. And that energy matches the electron transitions in glass. So glass is a wall for UV and a window for visible light. Same material, different frequencies, different outcomes. It is not a size story. It was never a size story. It is an energy matching story. Now let's go back to radio waves. Your Wi-Fi signal, 2.4 GHz, the photons it sends carry about 100,000th of an electron volt of energy. A visible light photon carries about 2 electron volts. The radio photon has 100,000 times less energy. And the lowest electron transition in any normal material, much, much higher than that. The radio photon is offering so little that no electron anywhere in your wall can accept it. It's like offering someone a grain of sand to climb a flight of stairs. The currency is right, but the denomination is absurd. So the radio wave passes through, not because it's big, because it's too low energy for any electron to care about. Here's the pattern, and once you see it, you can't unsee it. Very low energy photons, radio waves, pass through walls. Electrons ignore them. Very high energy photons, gamma rays, also pass through walls. Electrons can't absorb that much in a single step. Visible light, right in the middle, gets absorbed, because that's exactly where the electron transitions of common matter sit. The stuff in the middle gets blocked. The stuff on either end gets through. And now I want to ask you something. Why do your eyes detect visible light specifically? Out of this entire spectrum, radio waves, microwaves, X-rays, gamma rays, all of it. Why that tiny sliver? Because that's the range where matter is interesting, where atoms absorb and reflect and scatter, where surfaces have texture, where you can tell a rock from a puddle, a face from a shadow. If you saw in radio frequencies, everything would look transparent, useless. If you saw in gamma rays, everything would be invisible except lead. Evolution tuned your eyes to the exact band where the electrons of common matter, carbon, oxygen, silicon, nitrogen, are most active. And the reason that band is where it is comes down to Planck's constant and the charge of the electron. 2 numbers written into the universe at the start, determining what you can and cannot see. That's not a coincidence. That's the universe's structure showing up in your eyeballs. So the next time you walk from one room to another and your phone signal follows you through the wall while the light from the lamp stays behind, that's not a quirk, that's quantum mechanics, that's electron energy levels, that's 100 years of the greatest physics ever done showing up in one completely ordinary moment that you've never thought about. The wall isn't blocking the light because it's solid. It's blocking the light because its electrons are hungry for exactly that frequency. And the radio wave doesn't go through because it's big. It goes through because no electron in that wall has any appetite for it whatsoever. Present, but untouched. That's what's actually happening.